Hi everyone, my name is Elise and I'm the Associate Director of the Center for Student Engagement and New Student Programs. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about apartment hunting, looking for roommates, and just moving out. So there's a few ways that you can go about apartment hunting. The first is to find an empty unit that you're moving into. No one else lives there. You might decide that you are going to live alone, so you're looking for an empty unit just for you, or you might already have a set of roommates and you all are looking for a place together. If you do that, you need to be prepared to put down a little bit more money than maybe if you were finding an empty room, because you might have to pay a broker fee if you're going through a realtor for an empty unit. So you might have to be prepared to pay first month rent, last month rent, security deposit, and potentially a broker fee. The advantage to finding an empty room in an already inhabited apartment is that you're probably just signing on to someone else's lease, so there's usually lower fees associated with that because you're not necessarily going through a realtor. Other financial benefits of living with roommates is that you're splitting utilities multiple ways. So while rent for a one-bedroom apartment versus one bedroom in a multi-bedroom unit might not be the biggest difference, what you will see is that utilities can quickly add up. So splitting cable or electric or heat amongst multiple people really does make a big difference at the end of the year versus if you were covering all of those costs yourselves. So if you are thinking about living alone, that's just something to keep in mind while you're budgeting. There's also some social benefits to living with roommates, especially if you're moving into a new city where maybe you don't know anyone. It can be nice to enter a house that already has people living in it, or you're entering a home together. It's nice because you just have a built-in social network with the people that you live with. And then also you can make friends with their friends, just really expanding who you're interacting with. I think oftentimes when people think of roommates, they think about sharing their physical bedroom, which is certainly an option. I know people do sometimes do that to save costs even further. But I would compare an apartment-style roommate more to if you were living in a residence hall and had some floor mates that you spent time with, maybe cooked with, spent time in the common areas with. That is a more comparable situation to what it's like to live in an apartment with roommates. And that goes with moving in with roommates that you already know from real life. Maybe you're moving in with friends that you already have, or with moving in with people that you haven't met. And there's a bunch of different websites that are out there to connect you with people also looking for roommates. I know I personally have used Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, but there's a bunch of other ones. There's PadMapper, there's Roomster, and there are ones across the country that I'm sure are more popular in other areas. So just because the sites are popular in Massachusetts doesn't mean they'll be popular where you live. So it's important just to do a quick Google search, see what's out there, post that you're looking, respond to postings, because it really is about finding a good match and going through that roommate interview process. You do want to make sure that your living habits are at least somewhat compatible. I will say, don't be afraid to live with new people. Some of my best friends were roommates first. So we moved in and we built a friendship over the year or years that we lived together, and now it's multiple years later, and that's really the family network that I've built for myself in Massachusetts. So I definitely have had a great experience living with roommates over the years. I hope this video has been helpful, and good luck with your apartment hunt.